Okay, be honest. How many of you like Dr. Pimple Popper? And don't try to make me believe that you don't. I know everybody watches it, especially if you're in the medical field. Dr. Pimple Popper works on the integumentary system. The integumentary system has a whole lot of functions in the body, and it has some very distinct characteristics that you'll be asked about. One of the distinct things about the integumentary system is essentially that the skin is the body's largest organ. Skin is in every sense, it's an organ because it's a collection of different types of epithelial tissues and nervous tissues that help it do all of the things that it needs to do. And it has several functions. So we'll talk about it more in the lymph-immune system, but one of the skin's most important functions is an immune function. It's a wall. Your skin is a barrier that prevents pathogens from entering the body and making it to places that they shouldn't reach. A broken down barrier, as far as the skin goes, is really an invitation for infection. You can handle small amounts of skin loss. Patients die when they have large amounts of skin loss, even if they survive the initial, whether it's a burn or an abrasion, like a road rash situation. The skin's function in the immune system just cannot be overstated. It's the most significant way that the body regulates pathogens and prevents them from reaching places they shouldn't. The skin also serves a second important role in thermoregulation. It is essentially capable of doing quite a bit to keep your core temperature where it needs to be, warm or cool. In the heat, your skin is responsible, the integumentary system is responsible for modulating sweat with the airflow over sweat, bringing cooling function to the body. Likewise, if you were to go plunge yourself into 35-degree water, your integumentary system would immediately start routing blood to your core organs, the things that had to survive on the inside, and routing it out of or trying to prevent any heat loss at all. The integumentary system would do anything it could to try to make sure that it's not losing any extra heat. So the skin plays an important role in thermoregulation, and there are a number of diseases that make that particularly difficult for people. So for instance, people who don't sweat or have a disease that keeps them from sweating are often at risk for substantial hyperthermia. Patients with albinism are at risk for high risk for skin cancer because the integumentary system isn't forming that kind of a barrier. A third function. So first function, important function of the integumentary system is the protection of the body from pathogens. Second important function is thermoregulation. Third important function is the retention of water. So obviously you know that you have a tremendous amount of water in your body. It's necessary for virtually every process of life. And it is your skin that keeps that water on the inside instead of letting it leak outside. If you've ever been unfortunate enough to have a large abrasion or a second-degree burn, you know that one of the things that happens is that the skin leaks. You begin to leak serous fluid through to the outside. This is another reason why patients with a large amount of skin loss often face a certain fatality, even if it is going to be weeks or months in the future. If the body loses the ability to control its infectious risk because of the loss of the skin barrier, it is also losing the ability to control fluid by preventing leakage. So the skin and the integumentary system have those three functions. There are other functions, but those are the ones you need to memorize for the system. It's the largest organ in the human body is the skin, to which the integumentary system belongs. The integumentary system is responsible for an immune barrier, physical barrier. It's responsible for thermoregulation, control of heat and cool, and it's responsible for fluid retention.